as a co-host. Welcoming all of you to the Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Lila Purushottam Prabhuji. Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, 30th chapter, 39th and 40th verses. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavats Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening us on this topic. I'll hand out the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji. Hare Krishna. All the devotees who have joined this program, Sam Gauri Mataji. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak in this forum. So let's have a short kirtan and then we will start the verse recitation and then some discussion. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana
Yashodana
Raja Jana Ranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Bihari
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra
Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra.
Vispad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Stotra Tassa Srimad Bhagavatam Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Sri Krishna Balaram Sri Radha Sam Sundar Pandai ki jai. Sri Lakshmi Narsingadev Srila Giriraj Krishna Sri Radha Ramanju ki jai. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। सामवेद नमो विष्णु सॉरी ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
श्रीमद् भागवतम Canto 4, text 30, verse number 39 and 40. Yana swaditam gurava prasadita viprasa vruddhasa sad anuvritya aryanata suhrudo bhratarasya sarvani bhutani anasuyaiva yanna sutaptam tapaye tadisa nirandasam ka lamada brahmapsu sarvam tadetat purusasya bhumno vruni mahete paritoshanaya. I'll directly go to the translation and purport. Dear Lord, we have studied the Vedas, accepted a spiritual master, offered respect to the Brahmanas, advanced devotees, and ascet personalities who are spiritually very advanced. We offered our respects to them, and we have not been envious of any brother, friends, or anyone else. We have also undergone severe austerities within the water and have not taken food for a long time. All these spiritual assets of ours are simply offered for your satisfaction. We pray for this benediction only and nothing more. Purport by Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Samsider Haritosanam. Real perfection of life is pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedesa sarve aham eva vedya. In understanding the Vedas, one has to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who has actually understood him surrenders unto him after many, many births. We find all these qualifications, severe austerities and penances within the water. They did not take any food for a very long time. They practiced this austerities not for material benediction, but for the satisfaction of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One may engage in any business, material or spiritual, but the purpose should be the satisfaction of Supreme Personality of Godhead. This verse presents a perfect picture of Vedic civilization. People training to become devotee should be respectful not only to Supreme Personality of Godhead, but also to those who are elderly in knowledge, or Aryans, and actual devotees of the Lord. An Aryan is one who does not boast, but is an actual devotee of the Lord. Aryan means advanced. Formerly, those who claim to be Aryans had to be devotees of the Lord. For instance, in Bhagavad Gita 2.2, Krishna chastised Arjuna by saying that he was speaking like a non-Aryan. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kutastva Kasmalam Idam Visame Samupastitam Anarya Justam Aswargyam Akirti Karam Arjuna. The Supreme Personality, the Supreme Person Bhagavan said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the progressive values of life. They do not lead to higher planets but to infamy. Arjuna the Kshatriya was refusing to fight despite being directly ordered by Krishna. He was thus chastised by the Lord as belonging to a non-Aryan family. Anyone who is advanced in devotional service of the Lord certainly knows his duty. It doesn't matter whether his duty is violent or non-violent. If it is sanctioned and ordered by the Supreme Lord, it must be performed. An Aryan performs his duty. It is not that Aryans are unnecessarily inimical to living entities. The Aryans never maintained slaughterhouses. They're never enemies of poor animals. Prachitas underwent severe austerities for many, many years, even within the Vata. Accepting austerities and penances is the avowed business of those interested in advanced civilization. The word Nirandhasan means without food. Eating voraciously and unnecessarily is not the business of an Aryan. But the eating process should be restricted as far as possible. When Aryans eat, they eat only prescribed eatables. Regarding this, Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 9.26, Putram Puspam Patram Puspam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadaham Bhaktya Pavrutam Ashnami Prayatatmana. If one offers me with a love and devotion a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water, I will accept it. Thus, there are restrictions for the advanced Aryans. Although the Lord himself can eat anything and everything, he restricts himself to vegetables, fruits, milk, and so on. His verse thus describes the activities of those who claim to be Aryans. Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamane. Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gaurvani Pracharane, Nirvishesha Sunyavadi, Paschyata Deshitarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarvesya kripa sindhaveva cha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namaha. Dear devotees, thank you very much for allowing me to speak. When Vaishnavas order us to speak, that speech has some meaning. Otherwise, whatever I may speak may be befitting to garbage. So thank you again. Actually, I am now in Vrindavan and we are having some retreat. And so there are many students from IIT Kanpur and the students of Learn Gita, Live Gita, correspondence course, they're all here. So I knew that if they know that I have to speak in the evening, so they would say that they will be here. So, but they have certain schedule or fixtures already there. So what I did is that this same verse I spoke in the morning in the Bhagavatam. So it is, I'm reading the same verse today, twice in the morning as well as now. So this is about activities of prachetas. Prachetas, you know that you have been hearing, so you already know that prachetas are the sons of Prachina Varishat, who ordered prachetas to procreate. So procreation may not be such a dignified activity, but it also is a very dignified activity if it is meant to procreate Krishna conscious children. But in general, Prajapatis have a duty to populate the world as soon as world comes into being. Otherwise, why the world is there? You build a house because someone has to live there. And Krishna has invested his potency in manifesting this universe, not only one universe, many, many universes, because many living entities, they need an opportunity either to lust to Maya or to surrender to Krishna. And hence, in the beginning, this world, this universe is now 50-year-old. Universe started when Karanadakasa Vishnu exiled, and many, many universes started popping up like a seed form, invisible form. And then Mahavishnu entered into each of these universes, and then they started growing. It's like if you put a seed on the soil, the plant starts from sprouting and then growing and becoming a big plant, and then giving fruits, vegetables, and varieties of things depending on what seed you have put in. Similarly, the universe, as soon as Mahavishnu expanded himself in the form of Garbhodakasa Vishnu, universe expanded, and it was absolutely dark because it's a closed chamber. There is nothing. And then the universe was filled 50% with the water. So universe shape is like an egg. 50% the bottom is filled with water. And this is primordial water. Because this water is the basis of this creation. Of course, this water is transcendental water because they came from the body of Garbhodakasa Vishnu. And then from when he lied down, from that water, from the navel portion of the Garbhodakasa Vishnu, sprouted a lotus. And Brahmaji, when he was born, he wanted to know what is his source. None of us will really ask this question because immediately we are born, somebody says, here is your father, here is your mother. But in case of Brahma, there was no one. He was alone. And hence Brahmaji asked this question. He asked this question, just a moment. Okay. He asked this question, who am I? Today we had our retreat group, we had an Ishtagosti. So one Mataji, she is a mother of one of our students from IIT Kanpur, and she also has registered in our Learn Gita, Live Gita course. So while giving about introducing herself, she was telling, since the very childhood, when she came for the first time in front of the mirror, when she saw herself in the mirror, she asked this question, who is this person? Who am I? Yeah, she asked her mother didn't reply, father didn't reply. Later on, whenever she would have used to ask this question, she got the reply, you see, you are a woman, you are supposed to get married procreate some children, blah, 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 feed and maintain the family. And that's all she was told until she encountered her own son, who became devotee in our group and started practicing and observing Ekadasi. And so, without question, if we don't ask questions, pertinent question, we will never get the right answer. Tadviti pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. Pariprasna. Questions must be there. Even if I give Bhagavad Gita to someone, but the person doesn't ask question, would not learn. So Brahmaji asked this question, who is my source? So he proceeded along the stream and he went down, 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 down. He could not figure out. Brahmaji in his Brahma Samhita, actually in his prayer to Krishna in Brahma Vimohan Lila, he says this. He says that stupid I am that I was trying to know you by my mechanical process. Because going by the stream, you are doing a mechanical action. His source is Krishna. You cannot know Krishna by a mechanical means. So although we say a lotus stem sprouted from Krishna, and then if you think that you will go by the very stem, you will know Krishna, no. And Brahmaji later realized, yet you are the same very person who revealed the science to create this universe. So ultimately Krishna reveals us everything that we want to experience. What kind of experience we want, Krishna reveals. If we want experience of Maya, then Krishna reveals Maya. And if we want experience of Krishna, then Krishna reveals himself within our heart. So this is the process. Revelation is the way. Now here Prachatas, after they got the order that they have to procreate, so procreation, is that a big deal? The plants are procreating, birds are procreating, insects are procreating, everyone is procreating. Is that a big thing? For Prachatas, being human being, they realize that this is a very serious thing. That means they have to practice austerity. So they went out, and there are thousands of brothers, and they assembled in one place and started practicing severe austerity. And in fact, the austerity includes to be within the water for hours. I don't know how many of you played in the pond when you grew up, but I was born in Odisha village, and all of us, we took bath in the pond. And normally we used to take bath at 12 o'clock. So around 12 o'clock, because lunchtime is 12 o'clock. So we have to take bath and then sit for the lunch. And so during bathing in the pond, so there are many kids. I'm talking about my experience during 4th standard, 5th standard. So we will have a competition, how long we can stay inside the water. And I remember, I don't think that we could stay more than a minute or a minute and a half at best. I don't know how expert swimmers, how long they can stay, maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, I don't know. So, but to stay within the water for hours, like in the morning hour in front of Tulsi Maharani, we sit for 2 hours, we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we chant, right? Sitting 2 hours. It's a big task, right? Normally, our senses are agitated, mind is agitated, intelligence is agitated, false ego is agitated. Each one of these elements are telling you, do this, do that, do that. And still we have to sit for 2 hours and chant Hare Krishna. And if we were told that you chant Hare Krishna within the water, that would be a very big task. Very big task. We know we don't have capacity to do that, but those days, people or yogis, they knew how to control their breath, and they can really stay inside the water and chant Krishna's name. I remember one incident when I was, I have gone to Haridwar many times before this, but never went beyond Haridwar. In 2003, in the summer, I wanted to do one retreat for a month with students of IIT Kanpur. And I was searching for a place along the Ganga where we can do this retreat. And I met a devotee, Badri Vishal Prabhu, and he said, maybe you can find a place suitable to what you are thinking at this particular place. And he gave me an address. So I went to Haridwar. From Haridwar, I took a bus to Srinagar on the way to Badrinath. In Srinagar, I got down, and following his map, I reached the place. This is just exactly along in the bank of Mandakini, because I had told him I need a place near Ganga so that every day we can take bath. And while we do our spiritual practice. And I knocked at the door, and there is a Mataji, very elderly Mataji. She must be maybe 65 or 70, skinny, very skinny. And she opened the door, and I realized she's sick. Then she told me, "Bete tum aa gaya?" In Hindi. "Son, you have reached?" And I said, "Yes, Badri Vishal Prabhu sent me." Then she immediately said, "Go, get fresh up." I was lying on the bed because I'm not feeling all right. "I'll cook something for you, and I'll get ready with some prasadam for you. Please go, take bath in the river and come back." And this is my first time I've taken bath in Haridwar, but Alkananda, up in the stream, I never knew, and I was thinking it should be similar experience as take bath in Haridwar. And putting on a gamcha as I entered inside Alkanand, the stream is very fast and is like freezing cold. I had the experience when I was in Germany, in Avanthar, during the month of December. Every day from the guest house to the temple, by the time I used to come, it's hardly 50 to 100 meters, but literally every day it was snowing, and you are almost white by the time you reach the temple. And we never felt, this is so cold because you are within the jackets and it's cold, but this is the first time I experienced that you can feel frozen. And normally whenever I take bath in Ganga, I first do Gayatri inside Ganga, and then take 3 times deep, and then offer water to sun god, and I come back. But here, the moment I entered, I realized that I'm going to. So within no second, I've taken 3 deep and just came out. And after that, I felt still as if I'm inside the ice pack. So I was thinking about Prachetas that time, because Pracheta, this particular story is very favorite to me in so many ways. And I know this Prachetas, they were performing, chanting Krishna's name as given to them by Lord Shiva inside the water. I'm pretty sure they must be doing their sadhana in there, because why one should perform your meditation inside water, right? Or why one should go to the Himalayan cave and do meditation. So one should ask this question. And when I remembered the Prachetas were inside the water and I was here for a moment and got froze, I was realizing, wow, if you were to be in this water, even probably 5 minutes, you are finished. You have to change your body. And when I came back, I asked Mataji, do you take bath here or you have some geyser here where you take bath? She told, no, dear son, I take bath in the early morning, 3 o'clock, then 2 o'clock in the daytime, and again 6 o'clock in the evening. And I was in awe and reverence for this wonderful Vaishnava lady, that she could do this because she was worshipping her Gopal deity there alone. And this is amazing, to meditate on Krishna alone. Why we should do this? It's an amazing thing, and this is what is actually you have to realize. Our body consists of 5 elements: earth, water, air, fire, ether. And there are 5 sense objects: sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. These are called tanmatras. Tan means subtle, matra means element. These are subtle elements. And earth, water, air, fire, ether, they're also subtle elements. Subtle, gross element. Okay. And their combination, I don't want to go detail of this physics. Tomorrow I'm going to speak to some science audience on Bhagavad Sankhya. So I think I have that addiction, that's why this has spontaneously come out, but just, this interaction of tanmatras with the subtle elements that causes the matter to manifest. That's a science actually. Ether manifests from sound, and air manifests from sound, ether, and touch, and so forth. There is a chain of cycles. But you see that this object of senses, they're very dangerous. They're very dangerous. Why? Because they can derail us from the path of spiritual life. They can easily derail us. We are not supposed to be associating with object of senses, because dhayato vishayan pungsa sangaste supajayate. Sangat sanjayate kama, kamat krudha vijayate. Krodhat bhavati samoha, samohat smriti vangsa. Smriti vangsat buddhinasa, buddhinasat pranasyati. So this is what it is. So minimize our interaction with these sense objects. Otherwise, we will degrade. Normally, in Krishna consciousness, what Srila Prabhupada did, he did a brilliant thing. His brilliant thing is his brilliance is that he first said, these are the sense objects you can never associate, right? He made us to take a vow. Meat eating, completely avoid. Illicit sex, gambling, intoxication. These sense objects, you can't. Doesn't mean other sense objects are good to associate. No, but those sense objects can be Krishnaized. Like for example, there's a house, you can convert that house to the temple. You have a car, you can use that car in the service to Krishna, right? So this is the power of this is the potential of an empowered acharya, how to create sense objects or tanmatras into spiritual objects. And that is why Prabhupada is Jagadguru. But normally, we are supposed to stay very far away from the sense objects because by nature, these elements, earth, water, air, fire, ether, by which we are constructed of, we are not able to see actually. They have a natural affinity for the sense objects. This is a science I cannot speak in detail now. But the very thing is that why prachetas are doing austerities inside the water, why somebody does meditation in the Himalayan caves. I still remember when I was in Zurich, I was visiting professor in ETH, the ETH, Zurich. And there is a university in Zurich. And so my collaborator, Frank Schweizer, told me, please go and see Alps, this mountain, Alps mountain. I had read Prabhupada once taken to Alps and Prabhupada could see the person Alps. I had heard some discussion about Prabhupada disciples, and so I was really certainly got curious, and I went along. I was going up and up. And after the train reached the best station, and I saw so many people came, and suddenly they vanished somewhere. I don't know. But my objective was go to the top of the Alps. As soon as I went, I asked people, where is Alps? Because this train took us to base station, and there it appeared like a small city. Right, not small city, but it's something very close thing. And then somebody said, go up and up and up. So I went and up, and then finally I reached the top of the Alps. And I saw hardly 3-4 people are there, simply taking cameras. And I think by the time I reached, it must be 8 o'clock in the morning. And I saw sun is peeping. And it was very, very pleasing, the sun ray. So there is a ropeway. I crossed that rope, went to the top of those stones. So once you look around the white and look down, it's very steep. So I found just besides the rope, there is a big stone, and there is nice sunshine is falling. And I sat there, I felt this is the best place to chant Hare Krishna. And I started chanting. I'm chanting. I don't know how long it has happened. because I'm enjoying the chanting, no disturbance, nothing. And although there is cold all around, but I could feel the warmth of the sun ray. So it was very, very pleasing. Until two white couples, they came and they disturbed me. And not disturb me in the sense that their intention was to interact with me. And these are the four couples that are there, and all others are inside, boozing or whatever things they're doing. So they came and they caught hold of my mala bag and started touching their forehead. So I realized these are some pious fellows. And then they said, "Are you a Buddhist?" I said, "I'm not a Buddhist, I'm a Vaishnava." Oh, so lady said, "Oh, probably you are, something has to do with Hinduism." I said, "Yes." Then someone again said, "Why you are here in Alps? You should be in Himalaya." Then the lady is saying, "No, one can worship God anywhere." So, and because I was chanting and they started Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, something they were doing, I said, wait a moment. You follow me. I'm chanting, this is God's name, and we can chant for some time. And amazingly, these four, they chanted full one round with me. And then they thanked me and left. So actually, such places are necessary because we get naturally distracted when object of senses are there. So that is why we must chant in front of the altar, in front of Tulsi Maharani, among the devotees, in the holy place. Convert your house into temple and chant. Place must be very clean. We should not have any luxurious item. In particular, we should not have our mobile and other things that will be distracting. So this is Prachetas were doing. They have even gone to the level of insulating themselves from the world by being inside the water. And not only that, Prachetas, they are not one or two people. There are many people, thousands, and they were together practicing Krishna consciousness as instructed by Lord Shiva. So obviously, that was very pleasing to Krishna. So Krishna, being pleased by Pracheta's devotional service, came on the top of Garuda and there they benedicted. So Prachetas were not even able to believe that their austerities has pleased, their devotional service has pleased Krishna, that Krishna is personally appearing in front of them, face to face. They're meeting Krishna face to face. This is why we practice Krishna consciousness. We must be assured that we are going to meet Krishna face to face one day. We are loner. We are very much loner because just like we were born alone, we have to give up this body also alone. When I give up my body, nobody will be with me saying, "Oh, I will also accompany you." No. So we are all loner in that sense. But our only good friend is Krishna. He's there within us as a super soul. And he's constantly guiding us to Sadhu, Guru, and Shastra. And here, Prachetas, they are saying, "Dear Lord, we have studied the Vedas." So it is not that they were only chanting the name of Krishna or mantra, Krishna mantra, as given by Lord Shiva. They were also studying Vedic literature. They have accepted a spiritual master, that is Lord Shiva, offered respect to the Brahmanas. So when you make a place, very holy place, Brahmanas do come. And they must have respected them, honored them with charity because they are the sons of a great king. Advanced devotees. So normally, when you practice Krishna consciousness, Krishna somehow inspires such a devotee with association of exalted devotees, such that Krishna says that Dadami Buddhi Yoga. So how does he give Buddhi Yoga? When I'm seeking truth, he sends someone and gives their association. And by that process, we learn more about Krishna. So says that so Krishna is saying, they are saying to Krishna that they have also respected advanced devotees and asset personalities who are spiritually advanced. Normally, a child can be also spiritually very advanced. Recently, we are conducting Gitanusilanam, a quiz contest. Some 20,000 students from around 500 college schools have registered. And we have many devotees training these boys and girls in science, in Bhagavad Gita. Because unless we teach them how they will answer our questions. I was taking a session, I think 4 or 5 days back when I was in Dehradun, and there were around 240 students connected in Zoom. And these small kids, they were asking such brilliant questions. I was amazed. I'm in IIT, and these IIT boys are so dull. They cannot ask a good question. Very few who join with me, there are very few. But normally, their intelligence is stolen by Maya completely. But these kids are so intelligent. One of the kids asked me, what is time? Imagine, suppose a small kid asks you, what is time? What answer you will give? And I was really taken aback because there are so many other questions that I was able to give a nice answer. But when he asked, what is time? How am I going to answer? If I say time is internal potency of Krishna, that manifolds, manifests or unfolds the events that are supposed to come. There are experiential time, and then there is the time as an axis. Nobody would understand these are small kids. And then suddenly I got an idea, and then I said that suppose there are traffic lights, right? If you violate the traffic light, you have to pay price. How? Because there will be traffic police and it will cut a challan against you. 2,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, whatever the fine, you have to pay. In fact, one devotee that time reached the Dehradun after paying a challan of 2,000 rupees. And she was telling her ordeal with the traffic police how she was forced to give 2,000 rupees because she was not wearing mask. And so I remembered this and I said, you have to pay. You steal and police catches you, then you will get some punishment. So just like if you violate state laws, you are penalized, punished, fined. And if you follow the state laws, sometimes you are avoided. And I said, similarly, there is God's law. And God's law Sometimes we are following, sometimes we are violating. And then time. God has time, punishes us or rewards us. And this is how, anyway, I got digressed. So this is how I answered this question to the small kid. Why I was telling children, when they're unpolluted by the modes of material nature, they can ask very wonderful questions. I don't know in what context I brought this topic up for Gitanusilanam. What I was telling actually. Yes, anyhow. So I missed my thread. Got digressed. So so Krishna was pleased and Prachetas were very happy that Krishna is front to front, and they offered prayer. Yes, asset personalities were spiritually very advanced. Spiritually very advanced. Yes, I was telling. From this point only I got and digress. So what I was telling, I was telling about the small kids. They have very, very important questions. If you give them Krishna conscious spark, it will catch fire. So obviously, there are people that take up Krishna consciousness according to rest, but you start practicing as you grow. With age, you become wise. And that is why they're saying that they have also respected the aged people who are highly Krishna conscious, because they know how to give guidance. Like Srila Prabhupada at the age of 70 went and guided the whole world in Krishna consciousness. We have offered our respect to them. We have not been envious of any brother, friends, or anyone else. Normally, when you go to Krishna, you meet Krishna, you will never say, oh, I'm so great, I have studied Bhagavad Gita, I've read the book so many times. You don't say. One of my normal meditation, whenever I start chanting or I'm in front of the deity, is that even after having crossed 55 years for this material body, even after 54 years, I'm still struggling every day to get up for Mangalarati. I still struggle to chant quality rounds. Oh Krishna, I have no hope. So normally, when we see ourselves, we give up hope and we pray to Krishna that you lift me, you take away my sin, and you lift me and place me in the dust of your lotus feet. But Prachetas are so confident about their spiritual strength, their spiritual potency, they have the guts to tell their spiritual piety, that they have some piety. And they're saying this. So this will not be taken as symptom of pride. These Prachetas are really beyond the bodies, beyond the object of senses. They're above the platform of purity and of. So that's why they are able to say, this is what they have done. And they're saying they're not envious of anyone. To tell that is very difficult, isn't it? Now also, although I see my father and mother, they're very old, and my father still does Pujari Seva in Krishna Balaram temple. here in Gurukul in Vrindavan as well. But my father and mother still they fight. Although they fight, when I could feel they have their appreciation, natural appreciation, but then still they fight. They're angry with each other. That happens, two people living under the same roof. Fight happens. But how amazing it is that 1,000 people together, they don't fight, they don't quarrel, they cooperate. This is amazing. And this is what Krishna would tell them. I'm so happy that you practiced Krishna consciousness together, without fighting, without quarreling, without becoming envious of each other. Right? So this is something very, very, of course, I already 1845. So all these spiritual assets of ours are simply offered for your satisfaction. And they have the guts to tell also that all this we have only done to please you. We don't have any other. Because imagine the spiritual master is Lord Shiva. And they're extremely dedicated and surrendered to their spiritual master, that they are able to delineate what is spiritual thing and what is not spiritual thing. They're able to tell this is what we have done, and all the spiritual assets we have only reserved for your satisfaction. We have done this for you only, not for others. And we pray for this benediction only, nothing more. So you see, this is why I like this Prachita story, Narada instruction to Prachina Parishad. Yes, in a very basic level, they're very inspiring. So they're saying we pray for this benediction only and nothing more. So if I'm doing devotional service, what should I pray for? I should pray every day. I should be there for Mangalarati. Even if I'm sick, I should be there for Mangalarati. Every day, how sick I may be, I must be. I must be completing my quota of rounds minimum. When Haridas Thakur was asked by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Mahaprabhu said, Haridas Thakur, you have become too old. Why you are chanting so many rounds? No need. And Haridas Thakur is saying, I have no sickness. My only sickness is that I have no taste for the holy name. Who is chanting every day without fail 3 lakhs names of Krishna and is able to tell this? My only sickness is no taste for the holy name. Isn't it? So there are some of the pertinent points. Prabhupada's one, the animal killing, Prabhupada talked about in the purport. The other thing he's talked about is regulating food habits. In fact, they were not eating food for a long time. That means this is, in a spiritual practice, we do, as far as when I started my Krishna conscious journey, we only knew that Ekadasi means Nirjala. Because my teacher taught me by practicing. He and his wife, they would do Nirjala, and we knew only Nirjala. And from 1993, I was doing Nirjala Ekadasi until 2005 or 2006, when I developed certain bodily disorder or some bodily problem. But I was doing Nirzala. So we do this, right? But we do for a day, Nirzala, right? We do Nirzala also days like possibly, of course, we do it on Janmashtami. And that's the only day in Nirzala, because in Gaur Purnima day we do only up to 6 o'clock in the evening. So that's all we do. But we know Ambarisha Maharaj observed an Ekadasi that lasted for an year, for 1 year. Ambarisha Maharaj is a king. In king, there is a provision, arrangement of thousands of items every day, right? But king observed an Ekadasi that lasted for 1 year, right? So obviously these people also, in those days, they are really capable enough to do this kind of fasting. And Prabhupada is saying that, food habits means we must be austere in terms of our eating habit. Otherwise, we eat, and sleep. Eating and sleeping. Both of them, they are the pathway to hell. And I think we have anyhow, so eating habit, minimal eating, and eating that is necessary to maintain our body and soul is necessary, because these are small things that must be practiced in Krishna consciousness. In fact, in Krishna consciousness, everything is very simple, but we don't take them seriously. We think something else we have to do to attain Krishna's mercy. No. We don't have to perform so severe austerities like Prachetas have done. But still, in the matter of eating, mating, sleeping, and defending, we have to maintain certain discipline. Otherwise, we'll be destroyed by object of senses. Always understand this. Object of senses, tanmatras. Tanmatras are like kala, devouring time for us. They are there all around, tanmatras. Tanmatras are there in the form of dhana, jana, sundari, kavita, jagadisha. All around these tanmatras are there, and they are like demons trying to chew us. And we stupidly allow ourselves to be chewed by them. Right? In Krishna consciousness, only those are very advanced. They can employ the object of senses in the service to Krishna, like Srila Prabhupada did. But all of us are not capable enough. So, one of the biggest object of senses that destroys us is this, right? You see that I'm traveling, I don't have Bhagavatam. So I'm forced to carry this, because this is here, I have the Bhagavatam. So, but normally they are, particularly in COVID pandemic time, many people, they got addicted to these electronic things, and it's really devastating. And normally I travel, and since March until October 24th, I didn't go anywhere. That was the first time it happened. And then since 24th October, I have been traveling. And I'm enjoying this part. I'm now least afraid of COVID, because this way I know that at least I am with the devotees and some way participating, encouraging everyone in devotional service. So the conclusion of today's discussion is that Prachetas were very confident about their spiritual assets, and they're able to declare very boldly that, "O Krishna, that please help us to continue this devotional service life after life." And as devotees also, we should be very confident about Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and we should be confident that whatever we are doing is actually spiritual asset. Our attending Mangalarati, our chanting Hare Krishna, our hearing Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, our reading Prabhupada books, going to people and speaking to them about Krishna, these are all spiritual assets that we have. So we are no less, even in this age of Kali, which is full of vices. We should be very, very happy about it. And to end the story, I'll narrate a joke that I learned in my childhood days. One little interesting, and sometimes fun is nice to end. This has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness, but really funny. You see, in Odisha, in my time, people were really very cultured. So the story is like this. A person gets married. So once after you get married, when you go to your in-laws' place for the first time, normally in-laws are treated like God in India. And in-law means the son-in-law. So son-in-law is going to his, the son is going to his in-laws' place after getting married. But this person is a voracious eater. And mother knew that her son doesn't have good habit, and as far as eating habit is concerned, and this is not nice, and he will bring a bad name to our family. So she instructed to her son that whatever your mother-in-law give, you only eat 50%. And he went, and whatever was given, he had only 50% left, 50% according to the instruction of his mother. But he's actually a voracious eater. Then his mother-in-law thought, hey, I've got a saint as my son-in-law. And she was feeling very proud. And next time when she served 50% of what she served originally. Now this boy, this person, he again ate only 50% because his mother has said. And after 3-4 such iteration, he was feeling hungry so much it reached volcans. And in the middle of the night, he invaded the kitchen. And it is dark. And then whatever, maybe rasgulla or gulab jamun, he put in the mouth. But in the process, things all fell down, created a big raucous noise. And then everybody shouted and came up, all this, the thief has come. And he had no time even to take everything inside. He came and lied in his bed while these rasgullas are inside in 2 parts of his mouth. And when they saw things are going here and there, and then immediate attention went to son-in-law because nothing should happen to son-in-law. And this boy is absolutely frightened. He's making no noise. They sacked him. He's not even responding because things are in his mouth. He doesn't want to reveal that he has really eaten something there. He's so embarrassed. And they saw His mouth is swollen in both sides, swollen. So, and he's not talking anything. And then they realize probably some serious disease has happened to our son-in-law, and they took it to the hospital. And then doctor did a surgery, and doctor finally commented, actually, this is a big sore, and they took out a lot of pus and everything. And this is the some story about those who are really fond of eating and not being able to conquer their hunger. So this is a joke, nothing related to this, but some fun moment to realize how hunger can embarrass us. And it is a good time through Krishna consciousness. We conquer our very act of a very urge of hunger. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for wonderful class, Prabhu. Thank you. If anybody have any questions or realizations, please go ahead.
Prabhuji, in this chapter we saw like Prachetas were doing so much austerity, and you also told the story about the hunger. So what should we do? Should we do austerities or not?
We must do austerity, what Prabhupada has asked for us. The very austerity, Prabhupada, do you remember what Prabhupada said? If one attends Mangalarati for 12 years, non-stop, without fail, he or she will never speak lie. He or she will only speak truth. Prabhupada's statement. So, if someone, I have seen Gopal Krishna Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, not only he misses Mangalarati, whether he goes to bed at 12 o'clock in the midnight, 11 o'clock midnight, sometime very busy because he has so much of management load, he sometimes goes in 1 o'clock in the middle, but he will be there in the altar by 4 o'clock. And he has been doing since he has met Prabhupada without fail. At least I am noticing him since I joined in Jew Temple. I think I joined in 1999. And from 1999, this is almost 21 years I am seeing him. We have never missed. I think just do this one austerity. Just one austerity. I tell you, yes. You want to say?
Temple. We don't have temple. So
then in your house, Mataji, is that difficult?
No, but we don't do Mangalarti on time, like no specific fixed time.
So this is what would make changes to your life. You make a schedule. I say if you want to make the normally temple Mangalarti is 4:30. If you are staying as a Grihastha, at least make 5 o'clock or 5:30, but not after 5:30. Even if you make 6 o'clock, but at least you make sure every day you have Mangalarti at 6 o'clock. That's what my urge to you will be. And I think for Krishna's sake, we should do it, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
We have to do, Mataji. We have to leave this body recently, Just today only, one of my students, he lost his father and he's here to, feed Vaishnava, feast to Vaishnavas here. And some days back, my maid servant suddenly died. And so we see, and I was meeting my student's mother today, and she was crying. She said, I only wanted to die before my husband, but my husband left and I am alone. I said, nobody can help it. I told that, it is time that brought you and your husband together, and it's time that has separated you. You have to learn how to take shelter of Krishna. He is the only friend. And we need to prepare for that moment. So I am not telling very big ask. You just follow for 12 years. Prabhupada has said this. Whatever, I can tell you this much, whatever Prabhupada said is all true. There is no doubt about it. 12 years Mangalarati you do, and then you will see, you will only speak truth. That's for sure.
Yes, Prabhuji, I will try. Thank you.
I hope you are not discouraged.
I will try, Prabhuji.
Please do it, Mataji. And if you are successful, then please let me know after 12 years. If I am fortunate to live that long.
Same here, Prabhuji.
I think Prabhuji is sure that he will live for 12 years if you start Mangalarti.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very
Hare Krishna.
very beautiful class and very nice conversation between you and Shamgauri Mataji. It was very nice to hear. Prabhu, I just wanted to ask you something personal. You were telling about you were practicing Nirjal from such a long time and you had a problem. May I know what's that problem? Is that a problem caused by practicing Ekadasi such a long? Because I am practicing, so many people are cautioning me that this is not good.
No. Yeah, you asked a very nice question. I think personally that I deviated from the standard of Nirjala Ekadasi not because Nirjala Ekadasi did bad to me. In fact, no Ekadasi can do bad to any one of us. This I can tell you. No austerity can, in fact, fasting is always good for us. Otherwise, our Bilomangala Thakur would not say, Batambu Parna Sanaputa Deha. The body becomes purified only when one learns how to live by breathing and eating some few leaves. So there is no doubt about it. We should not have any doubt. Why I broke? Because what happens is that from 2006 onwards, I was already a householder, and then we shifted. I was having a lot of foreign trip, and plus I shifted for 2 years to Northern Ireland, University of Ulster as a professor. And so I think I would say this is in the process of little, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. I gave up this Nirjala fasting. And then when I went to Ulster, one of the thing in Northern Ireland is famous is cheese. And my children, I had 3 daughters, and they were very small actually. I think 6, 7 year old, the eldest one, and the other are 5-year-old. and they were liking cheese. And normally, as a father, you would like to see happy. You become happy to see your children are eating nicely. So every day, those cheese products, and I also got hooked into that, and that created diabetic in me. And then suddenly people said, you are a diabetic, means you should eat, uh, 6-7 times in a day, little. You should not fast. Until lately, I realized that these are all nonsense. These are all has no meaning. And then last 2-3 years, again, I corrected myself, and I completely controlled my diet. I stopped eating chapatis, rice, and so many things I did. Now I'm getting back, and I'm all right. And so I think fasting always does good to you, good to any one of us. If anybody is speaking something against it, actually not in a right footing. By fasting, we give full rest to the body. And when we fast for the pleasure of Krishna, it has only advantage. So don't feel, Mataji, ever discouraged. If you are fasting, just continue it and make it until.
Thank you so much. It has been 2 years. I'm continuing. Please bless me so that I can continue throughout my life. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please continue. I don't think anything will happen. Never.
So, I have one more question. So if we have any medicine to take, there is a parana time, right? Means Ekadasi starts from morning 6:30. It says, means if it is starting 6:30, so when we wake up at 3 o'clock or 3:30, then we can take our medicine before 6:30, drink some water and take our medicine, right? Is that okay to do? If some medicines later in our life is added, compulsory to take a medicine. So I need to drink a water. So is that recommended to do? Is that okay?
Yeah, Mataji, you see that what makes you psychologically confident? You just do it. Go ahead. You see that I was taking this diabetic medicine, and for this Gurukul, we raised almost like 40 crore to establish this campus. And I was always going here and there to raise funds. Once I was in Mumbai, and with fundraiser, and in front of them, I took my medicine bag and started eating some of the medicine. And this fundraiser, one of the persons whom we are meeting, he told me, Swamiji, you are eating so many medicines? And it gave me a shock of my life. Believe me, I felt so ashamed internally that I'm supposed to be a yogi and I'm behaving like a yogi. I'm eating so many medicines. And that day I promised I will stop this medicine. And since then, I'm not taking any medicine. Right? Yesterday, we had Gita Jayanti. In the morning, we recited all Gita, and then we went for Govardhan Parikrama. I returned, and after returning, my good friend Srinivas Krishna Prabhu gave me boiled potatoes and some soup. And normally I know these potatoes are full of sugar and they will increase my diabetic, blood sugar. I ate yesterday. Today morning when I'm checking blood sugar, I saw it is 100, fasting. When I was taking medicine, my morning blood sugar never went below 160. So that is, actually we should, these are, maybe sometime I have a lot of experience in terms of how to take care of your health, because old days, I'm 54 and I started this austerity, how to manage my food habit. Last 2-3 years, very seriously. I'm really very successful. I do stair climbing, I do exercise, I walk, I have a regimen. I manage everything, and I have a controlled diet, and I can fast completely. All the from Janmashtami to now. I'm doing all fast without any problem. So I think it is our lifestyle, the food habits, that really causes problem. Body has a problem because toxics they get accumulated, and that's why body gives problem. But if we eat right thing, we make sure. See, one of the very good way to detoxicate body is to fast. This is as old science. So
Thank you, Prabhuji, for encouraging me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranam.
You're talking about diabetes, so you don't take any medicine. You do take?
Can you again say, Mataji, what you said?
You say you don't. I'm asking you, do you take medicine, diabetic medicine? Or
No,
not?
I'm not taking. I'm not taking. Okay. Since 2017, I'm not taking any medicine.
Okay. The reason I asked it because this body is also diabetic. So that's why I was asking. I have
actually, because the whole thing has gone to because austerity and how to take care of the body. Actually, my spiritual life started, when I felt lonely after my graduation. Then I went to a yoga club, and there one Swami was teaching Yogasana. And before starting, he made a statement. He said, he was speaking in Hindi, he said, इस दुनिया में कोई भूखा मरता नहीं है, खा खा कर लोग मर जाते हैं. So basically he said that nobody dies of hunger. People dies by eating, eating and eating.
Yes,
that really struck to me. And my spiritual journey started by, I first changed my food habits by taking only salads, no milk, no cooked food, only salads. And there the yoga club told that you continue for 3 months. And I continued this. I liked so much. I continued for 1.5 years. So this, there are a lot of rubbish being spoken many places. That, if you don't eat properly, this and that. Yes, in Krishna consciousness, everything is prasadam. But doesn't mean that, we know, you know about Madhavendra Puripat. Hardly he was eating. Only if someone gives, he eats, otherwise he will not eat. So, I was giving another example today about this COVID pandemic came, and this COVID virus, it seems, makes many people very weak. I was also affected by COVID. My whole family got affected by COVID. But I have been telling that all virus, all bacteria, all creations of this world is there when, if it is coming naturally by the laws of nature, it is coming to maintain ecosystem of the world. We must be very clear. I don't know how far it is true. At some point in time, I was talking to a doctor. She was telling in our body there are so many viruses, so many bacteria. They are more than our cells, number of cells. They far exceeds our cell, number one. Number two, the viruses are part of our system. Like cold virus is there in your body, in my body. At some point in time, the cold virus acts. Why? Because when my body is filled with toxic, this virus acts and removes the toxic from the body. So when you suffer from cold, during the cold, you feel sickening, right? You feel very sick. But if you don't take medicine, don't suppress it, right? You will feel rejuvenated after 7 days because all toxic are gone from your system. That normally happens. So as far as this virus, this and that are concerned, we should not be so worried about it. But rather we should be worried about our own ignorance. And this very body is in the source of ignorance. So we have to act in such a way we should get permanently freed from this ignorance.
Yeah. Thank you. Very, very, very nice. Hare Krishna. Because I have also sometimes fasted completely, and because I said, well, I want to fast, but then I take medicine. I said, well, no medicine, fasting, and no food and no medicine. No, don't worry about it. So then I said, okay, I can do it. So on Janmashtami, I fasted and then nothing happened. And sugar also didn't go up and nothing. It's nice.
Yeah.
So that's why I was asking whether you take medicine or not. But now,
no, even when I was taking diabetic medicine, on Ekadasi, I had a principle not to take medicine. You see, our allopathy medicine is actually poison, let me tell you. It's really poison. And as far as allopathy medicine is concerned, how much it is vegetarian, even I don't know. So there are so many doubts about it, about these medicines. So again, I to tell things in a very clear term, let me tell you that let us do things in such a way, our Krishna consciousness, medicine, don't take medicine. If my Krishna consciousness is properly, I should go in that, trade that path, because different people have different psychic condition. Given that psychic condition, they should follow a specific. And whatever they follow, Krishna consciousness should remain foremost. As long as that principle is taken care of, I think everything should be all right. Okay, I think we should stop here, Mataji.
Yes, thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for wonderful class. Thank you for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning. If nobody have any questions, can we end the call here? Thank you, Prabhu, for your enlightening class today and you're giving your association. We are grateful to you, Prabhu. We look forward for your association and please take care of your health also, Prabhuji. Let us pay obeisances to Prabhuji and all the devotees. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
Vaishnavebhyo Namaha.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Lila Purushottam Prabhuji ki Jai. Thank you so much.
Bhakti Sangha devotee Vrunda ki Jai.
Jai.